I bought every single one of the E.L.F. Glow Reviver lip oils, including their limited edition Jelly Pop shade, to swatch and show you what they actually looks like on the lips. You may have seen these at Target or you may have seen them online and wanted to try one of the shades, but were curious about what they look like on the lips and the formula. I got you. We're going to do a swatch and a little application of every single one of these. If you do find this helpful or enjoyable at any point, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps this video get out to other people who may also need it. If you're new here, my name is Lindsay. I bring you a lot of pale skin makeup content, cool tone makeup content, but also full-on swatch videos like these. I just like helping you save money and not wasting money on products that you won't like. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get swatching. Starting with a brief description of these lip oils and what they claim to be on the E.L.F. website. It says they're non-sticky hydrating lip oil with a high gloss finish. Plush oversized cushion applicator hugs lips, infused with lip loving ingredients to nourish your pout. Sheer wash of color, fresh minty scent, can be worn on its own or over lipstick. For ingredients, it says squalane, apricot oil, avocado oil, jojoba oil, and pomegranate oil. So those are all the lip beneficial ingredients that they have listed. They have 7 total shades in the original collection, and these are $8 each. I don't have the clear version just because it's clear. I didn't think to include it in the swatch video, but I did pick up the Jelly Pop like special edition version of the lip oil to include. But let's go ahead and get started. If you haven't seen their packaging already, it just comes in this cardboard box. I'm gonna go ahead and start with this shade, which is called Coral Fixation, which looks like a sheer sort of peachy orange. I have just a touch of my ColourPop Cool BFF lip liner on, just because my lips are so light. I want a little bit of shape to them so you can see the colors better. Here is the actual packaging of the lip oils. They feel nice, they're square, they're not too big, so easy to carry around with you. So let's go ahead and swatch Coral Fixation. So here's one pass of Coral Fixation. I do get that minty flavor that they're talking about. For this being a orange shade, which usually pull really warm on me and unflattering, this actually looks pretty because it's so sheer. So this one I think would be a really pretty one for almost everybody if you're looking for like a slightly peachier shade to add just a hint of color to my lips. If you have more pink in your lips, I think it'll pull even prettier. There's Coral Fixation. Next up we have Rose Envy. This one looks gorgeous. It also looks a little bit less sheer than our first shade here, so we'll see. So I'm trying to use the same amount every time, just whatever's on the doe foot, so about 1 pass of the product. The shade is pretty, almost pulls slightly warm on me. Actually not too bad. It's definitely more of like a neutral pink. I wouldn't say it pulls cool or warm. So another one that I think will be flattering for a lot of people. It definitely has a little bit more pigment compared to Coral Fixation. You can actually see the doe foot applicator in this tube, whereas this tube, you can't see it, so it definitely has some more opacity to it. If you wanted one that has slightly more color, this one is really pretty. And I will include a little bit of a review and sort of like performance test of these lip oils at the end of the video. Let's move on to this next pink shade. This is called Pink Corpse. Halloween version. This is called Pink Quartz, which almost looks like the pink version of Coral Fixation because it has that more sheer look to it. Okay, so here is Pink Quartz. This one is quite sheer. I'm not noticing a ton of color. There's like a hint of pink to it, but I do really like that slight hint of pink with the really glossy finish of this. Also has a little bit of mintiness, by the way. I don't feel like the mint in any of these is too strong. Quite a subtle mint, just like enough to make them taste good. But here is Pink Quartz. So those were the more neutrally pink shades. Now let's move on to this red shade I have here. This one is called Red Delicious. I'm curious to see how much red is actually going to show up on my lip. So I would say Red Delicious is pulling like a slightly more pigmented version of the Pink Quartz shade. It has a touch more pigment, so if you have really light lips like I do, I think this one is a really nice shade. Or if you already have like a nice pinkness to your lip, or even if you have deeper lips, I feel like this is going to really bring forth any color that you already have going on, or give you some if you don't have any like I do. So this one is really pretty. Reminds me of the CoverGirl lip glosses, where even these more bold shades, because it's such a sheer formula, they're so wearable. Next we have this more like nude brown shade, which is called Honey Talks. By the way, it's looking like there's sort of like 2 different levels of pigment in these glosses. There's these 2 sheer ones, which are the Coral Fixation and Pink Quartz. And then over here, this red one is almost like an in-between, but the pink one and the brown one we're about to try have that more opaque looking finish to them. Definitely not opaque by any means on the lips, but just in the tube. So with Honey Talks here, I am noticing it's pulling slightly warm. It's giving you more of that like nude mocha type of lip, if you already have warm undertones in your skin, I think this one would be a really pretty pick. Again, on me, it doesn't pull too warm because they're so sheer and wearable. So I think it kind of just is what kind of look you're going for. This with like a warm tone eyeshadow would be gorgeous. I wouldn't say it's my favorite shade out of them, but I will let you know what my favorite one is at the end. But this one again was Honey Talk. Next, we have this beautiful deep looking burgundy, which is called Jam Session. So here is Jam Session. I think this one is beautiful. It gives you that like purpley brown hint of color. It's definitely showing up as like the most deep on my lips, at least because it is the darkest shade that I have to swatch here. I feel like the undertone is perfect, doesn't pull too warm, it's not too cool. Another one that would be flattering on a lot of people, but also if you have light lips or deep lips, it's gonna enhance them either way. So Jam Session, I would be intimidated by this color if I just saw it in the store, but on the lips, it's a really pretty fall shade. And then last but not least, we have the Jelly Pop version of the lip oil. This is a juicy splash of shimmer, so this is the only one that has shimmer in it. This one doesn't really have a shade name. I guess it's just called their Jelly Pop Glow Reviver lip oil. This one does have different packaging than all the other ones, which have the black cap. It has like a red cap and white font. So this looks like it has like an orangey pink magenta shimmer in it. Now scent wise, this one is different than all of the other ones. It smells like something really nostalgic from my childhood, like sort of like fake watermelon scent. I don't know if it's my favorite thing, but let's try it on. I think this shade is really pretty. It reminds me of the pink quartz shade, but with a subtle shimmer. Surprisingly, the shimmer, like it looks like a lot in the tube on the lips. It's a really, really fine shimmer. So I don't feel the texture of it at all. It definitely has more like a watermelon type of scent to it versus all the other ones being mint. I would say I prefer the mint shade, but it's not something I'm like disgusted by or anything. It feels like a slightly like neutral hint of warmth lip, maybe not too warm though. I think this one is fun. It would be interesting to see them come out with more of the lip oil shades in shimmers because I really do like the shimmer effect of this one on the lips. It's subtle, but it just makes it look even glossier. Even though these are a super high shine finish, adds even more dimension. Throwing my ColourPop Cool BFF lip liner on, I'm also gonna put on this Revlon lipstick. This is 668 Primrose, which is a light cool pink, because I want to show you what one of these looks like over a lipstick in case you did want to layer it. So this lip on me is definitely lighter. It's a really pretty nude pink, so I'm curious to see how a deeper lip oil pulls over this, how much it mutes it, and how much it really changes the color. So I'm gonna go in with the deepest shade, which is Jam Session, and see how it layers on top of this lip combo. I think that's gorgeous. I feel like it didn't change the shade too much. It kind of just muted it and added a little bit more of like a mauve depth to it. If you have fair skin like me and maybe things pull like really bold on you, if you want to grab this like deeper shade, it does do a good job at like muting lips down. I think this is something, out of all of them, I would say this is my favorite shade just because it's the most intense and it gives me like a really nice bitten berry lip, sort of like a Clinique Black Honey vibe where it gives you that little bit of depth. I think all these shades are gorgeous though. There's really not a shade in here that I feel like is unflattering on me. The pink shades are great for every day. The red is beautiful. I think with these, it's kind of just whatever shade you feel like would be the most worn for you is the one to go for. And for me, that's Jam Session. If you like more natural makeup, maybe one of those like pink quartz or coral shades would be better. Now let's talk about these formula wise and application wise. I love the applicators. They're a really big dofa. As you saw me applying, they pick up a nice amount of product. I don't really find that you have to dip back into them to get the product that you need. I really like the minty scent. I don't feel like it's too overwhelming, so that's also a good tick for them. Now the name of these is a lip oil. That's how they're described, but they're not an oily consistency. I find a lot of lip oils nowadays that say they're lip oils, they're more of like a really balmy gloss. It's like a new age balmy gloss that doesn't have any stickiness to it. So you're getting that really occlusive, smooth feel to the lips without any stickiness. It's basically like a non-stick gloss is what I like to think of them as, with a nice sheer tint. They're similar to the CoverGirl Yummy Fresh like gloss feel, a little bit lighter though. If you find those just slightly too thick and maybe too scented, these are like a more subdued version of that. But for $8, I think these are a great buy because it's really something that at least I find myself using all the time. Throwing one in my bag or just throwing it over a lip combo like this just to alter the color. The moisture is great. I do feel those like lip benefits from it. Moisturizing. They don't last an extreme amount of time because it doesn't have that stickiness of a gloss. It's not gonna like grip onto your lips a ton, but I'd prefer the like creaminess and and moisturizing aspect of these over a really sticky gloss. So you are gonna have to reapply them probably every couple hours after eating, but that's to be expected with a lip oil like this. And for $8, even if you run out, it's not like a crazy thing to keep repurchasing. The E.L.F. lip oils are a huge hit for me. I would recommend picking one of them up, whatever shade catches your eye, maybe a couple shades. But I hope you found this helpful for picking a shade. I know it can be so confusing of seeing these shades in the store and wondering what shade is gonna work. Maybe if some of the shades are sold out, you're not sure if you want to get one of them. So I just really hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and give it a like so other people who need this video can find it as well. And I'm gonna go ahead and pop another one of my videos on the screen here so we can keep hanging out. Another E.L.F. review will be right there, so I will see you over there. Bye.